So hi Ben, could you take two. So hi Ben, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ben Weinberg. I'm a partner at Susquehanna Growth Equity. I lead our investments in enterprise software and excited to embark on this journey with the Sievo team.
Yeah, hey, welcome. My name is Sammeli, CEO, co-founder at Sievo. Ben, what made you invest in Sievo? What was the kind of cause for that?
For me, it came down to three things: people, the company, and the opportunity, the market opportunity. First, the people. You and your co-founders have been at this for 18 years. It's an incredible.
It's a long time.
It's an incredible journey, and incredible persistence against a really challenging market. And I think that kind of speaks to the company that you've built, right? The culture and the values, the people around the table, and the strength of the customer of customer loyalty that you've built, and this customer following that you've built over those years. Also, the fact that your customers really hail from a variety of different sectors: industrials, consumer, electronics, and all the way into the financial services world. It's an incredible breadth of industries that you've been able to address. And I think you're just at the very beginning of it, right? You've just gotten your toe into each of these markets, and I think you can go much deeper, both globally as well as across all the other sectors. And I think that gets to the market opportunity, which is on top of the addressability of the product. We have these incredibly challenging times that we're in the middle of. Yeah. What about you? So why after 18 years is now the time to do this?
Indeed, it boils down to opportunity you mentioned. Now more than ever, kind of procurement is faced both with great challenges, kind of need to cope in crisis situations, volatile supply chains, inflation and so forth, but also great opportunity to prove that procurement can create value beyond cost reductions, be it on sustainability, risk management, diversity, supply or innovation and so forth. So we really feel it's once in a lifetime opportunity, both for large enterprises and their procurement functions to create value, but also be able to enable that through procurement analytics. So we felt that now's the time to actually raise some capital and actually make a big push to actually capitalize on the opportunity. When you decided to invest on Sievo, what was the most surprising thing in the process?
Well, I think the most surprising thing was seeing how seriously and how deeply the Sievo values run. Mm-hmm. The sense of transparency and the sense of kind of fair dealing and openness is something that's extended to partners, to customers, and was extended to us. And I think one of the things that surprised us was what you see is what you get with Sievo. From the very beginning, the sense of transparency and the sense of clarity was really evident from the very beginning of our relationship, and that's not true with most companies. And I think that's it's helpful in procurement, especially. Clarity is valued by your customers, but it's something that I think is really special and kind of builds a really strong platform for growing businesses. How about you? Like why Susquehanna, and how do you think about kind of the global investor? Right, we live thousands of miles from one another. Why did you decide that this is the right type of match?
Yeah, great question. And of course, we've been, let's say, independent for 18 years, so we were quite picky on what kind of partner we want to select. And why Susquehanna? I think it came down to 2 or 3 different components. Of course, we really felt that you guys can help us in achieving the goals and targets we have. As you mentioned, we take culture really seriously, so we want to ensure that there's a culture fit as well. And these are people that we want to work with for the next 5, 10, 15 years ahead. I think the working life is too short to kind of be bored, so having fun is important as well. Going to kind of US-Europe question, it was really something we debated, whether we should go more for European growth investor. It's easy in some ways, less time zone, less physical distance. But eventually we decided that sort of Europe is our home ground anyways. And when you think of the global markets, of course, US is a big part of that. So we felt partnering with somebody who's really US-based will help us to kind of grow faster in the US as well. Yeah. And you can find good people in the US as well.
and that's something that we totally endorse. I think the US opportunity for Sievo has been great, and I think there's just a long way that we can continue to grow. We're pretty excited about it. My biggest question is about our seal mascot. What's the story?
Yeah, so indeed we have the seal, Jaksu we call it, as a company mascot, and when we use it for very different purposes. I actually remember kind of, I guess, meeting you first time in person in Philadelphia, and then comes this sort of uncomfortable question: what is this white creature that you have on your web pages? And it's Jaksu, our seal. There's a long backdrop story. It's too long for this video. But I also was. What was funny that then we realized Susquehanna is actually a river and there's salmons in the river, and perhaps salmon and seal could kind of work together until we realized probably seals eat salmons.
So much.
and then we felt that this is not probably the kind of metaphor we want to use for communication purposes.
What do your parents say about this? You came from you grew up way outside of Helsinki.
Yeah.
When they see the announcement and your face all over the papers, what do they have to say about this?
Actually, I remember when I told to my parents like 2 decades ago that I'm going to kind of become an entrepreneur and start my own company instead of going to consulting or large enterprises. That literally the only time in my life I've seen my mom drop knife and fork while eating out of the shock and screaming out no out loud. So I guess when I went back to my parents and informed them about the deal and what's happened and told some parameters, I think it was a moment of relief for them. Okay, probably it wasn't that bad selection at the end of the day.
A tense 18 years for them.
Yeah. Hey, thanks Ben for the discussion. Looking forward for the next 5, 10, 15 years collaborating with you guys.
A bright future ahead. We're very, very excited to be part of the ride. Thank you for having us.
Thanks.